Because I'm at a new table. They don't know me. They don't know my opens, nothing. Nobody there has been at any of my previous tables. Small blind folds, big blind calls. So the pot's what?
Yeah, 5 big blinds.
Yeah,
6, 5.5 big blinds.
6.2 or something big blinds.
Yeah.
Flop comes rainbow, queen, 4, 3.
Good flop.
Yep. I see bet 1.9 big blinds.
Yeah.
He makes it 20,000, 8 big blinds. Check raises me to 8 big blinds on queen, 4, 3 rainbow. So I'm like, okay, what's
Unfold.
Hi guys.
so I can't really raise because he could have 2s or 4s. His bluff hands are, I mean,
Want to keep his bluffs in there.
3s or 4s.
It's not a heavy
He can
draw.
have 5, 6. He can have pocket kings and slow played it, right?
He could have a queen.
So I can only call here with aces, right?
Yep.
I call. So the pot is 23 big blinds.
Yep.
With turn is another offsuit 2. So make it a 3 here. So yep, that's the board. He jams 50 big blinds. What do you do? I know what Pio's gonna say to do.
I would call.
Yeah, you've got the gut shot straight.
Yeah, it picked
To-
up. So you got 12 outs against 2 pairs or whatever now.
Yeah.
If they have no reads,
No reads, brand new table,
or
first
he's
orbit.
acting, very quickly or whatever, I would just call.
You have to call it off 50 deep though, huh? Okay, I did.
Yeah, I mean, like when he
Is this
check
a live,
raises,
is this a live tournament?
Yeah, live tournament.
I mean, is there an argument for a live exploit here? I mean, I know the solver calls.
I think there is because online I would never even consider folding this. But live, guy's way under bluff.
Yeah, but he could have a queen, a good queen. He could have 5-4. He could have 5-3. He could have 5-2.
I
He
agree.
could have ace queen. I mean, he can have so many hands that he does this with. That I say and some he thinks for value even.
yeah, and I mean you're still very live against the 2 pair that he has,
Yeah.
right? With
Yeah, 12 outs. So I was thinking if this turn came a 7 instead
Against
of
the pair, against 2 pair, you have more than 12 outs. Huh?
so if the turn came a 7 instead of a 2, would you still call when you might only have 8 outs instead of 12 because you don't pick up the wheel draw.
7. And it was 4-3, yeah. So he could have
So
6.
if it's 3, 4, 7 queen, do you
Yeah,
still call 50 big jam?
100 bigs? No, don't fold aces. Come on. Especially because you don't block the queen.
Yeah.
King
Okay.
Queen does this anytime.
Well, I hated doing it in a
Yeah, I would-
$200,000
like
guarantee
aces,
tournament,
I would call it.
but I think you have to call off, right?
Yeah.
well, the
Okay.
other thing is if you win that, you have 125 bigs. Like
Yeah,
you have a monster stack.
monster stack. I'd be the chip leader at my table. Yeah.
But if you fold aces here, you way overfold. The only
Yeah,
good hand you have is queens, almost.
MDF is like 25%, and I'm in what, the top 5% of my range. So I was like, I can never fold here, even though I really did not want to call a guy because there just aren't enough
Maybe fold
bluffs.
a bad queen, but even the solver is calling with a bad queen. Huh? I mean,
Yeah, there just aren't enough bluffs. And when I factored in, he could have king and played it this way weird. I kind of just have to call. I can't.
a lot of queen X hand that can play this way.
Yeah,
It's just
right.
like, I mean,
I
the
don't
weird
know.
thing about this is the sizing from his side. Let's say he has a set of 4s. Is the sizing right? I mean, is he playing this right? Or is he?
He's probably betting smaller.
Well, let me see his range that you have for him real quick for the big blind against a 2.7. Okay, his hand is in there, but I don't, at 2.7, I don't know if it's supposed to be.
Yeah, like 60
You don't
blinds.
see any raise 945s here, right? Isn't that what he did?
Yeah, he bet 2.2x pot on the turn. 2.3x pot.
I mean, that's the thing is you're kind of like off solver
Raising
land.
that big, that's also, he doesn't do that with sets normally. Why would he?
So anyways, he rolls over 4-3 offsuit.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Offsuit, yeah. Which at
Hey-
2.2 would be a call, but it's not supposed to be at 2.7, but again, I had no info on the guy.
Well, good for you.
So
How did it end up?
7 on the river. I got fucked and I was out.
You came in 7?
Yeah.
That's not bad. So I have a live hand that's pretty quick if you've got a minute, Louis.
Yeah, also depends on the sizing. If you think he does that with a queen,
Yeah, I just didn't think he's jamming a queen for 52 bigs there into 23.
yeah, he should probably, but at least king queen.
But it's live, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, his worst hands are king, queen, and kings. And you know what? He's got a lot of 2-pair that you have good
Yeah.
equity against.
King, he shouldn't have any kings. Come on, guys, he's raising kings normally. So that's only a very small percentage kings.
Yeah, like I would think that deep you're gonna 3-bet kings,
Yeah,
right? Because you want to get the pot
you want
pumped
to
up.
spot and be able to bet on flop.
I have 6 hands total. Somebody else said they have a hand. Let's do that.
Oh, I
one.
didn't
But
realize you had a
I
bunch
got
of
one.
hands.
You guys are gonna be very disappointed in me. Very disappointed in
Did
me.
you bet, Chris?
But I have a reason for what I did.
If it's a good reason, it's good. But if it's a bad reason, it's very bad. Huh?
Well, I don't know if it's a good reason or not. In my head it was, but the guy next to me was a pro. I ended up taking him out later, but he said he thinks I was supposed to do something else. I won't tell you what it was till we go through the hand, but it's a tough one. But maybe it's not that tough. Maybe I made it tough.
You go ahead.
Oh, you want me to do that one? Okay. This is multi-ways the problem, so I was not gonna like this one. So big 100 big blinds effective. And I'm in the big blind with 10-9 suited of spades. So blinds are 300, 500, so we're at like level 5 or 6 or something. So it's early in the tournament still. So under the gun limps. Hijack, who's been pretty active, raises to 4 bigs. Low jack calls, button call, and I have 10-9 suited. Considered a raise, I decide to flat. We're 100 deep and
I would
this is
flat.
fine.
Where are you? Where are you? What
I'm
position?
the big blind.
Okay.
Same tournament, Venetian 400 buy-in, 170,000 guarantee or something. So I just call and we go 5 ways to the flop. I have 10-9 suited. The flop comes jack of spades, queen of spades, ace of diamonds. So I flop the open-ended straight flush.
So you check.
I check, under the gun checks, hijack bets 5,000 into 11.5, so 45%. Fold. I just call, under the gun calls. Under the gun is shorter than us. He does not have 100.
I like it so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turn is a 9 of clubs. So now I have a pair with the open-ended straight flush draw. Check, check. Hijack bets 15K into a pot of 40. Meaning I need 21.4%
Oh.
equity to call.
Yeah, he's pricing you in.
Call, and if then the gun calls is even better.
I folded. And I'll
What?
tell you, yep, because there's only, here's why. It's, I need 21.4% equity. I have no implied odds whatsoever because if a king comes, I have the 10 for a straight, it's a one-liner.
Yeah.
If an 8 comes, I have a straight, it's a one-liner. If a spade comes, there's 3 spades up and he can get away from any of his 2 pair sets. And so I have no implied odds here at all, right? And my odds are 20% to hit my hand.
Always have implied odds, huh? Maybe not a lot, but you have implied odds.
I think I have none.
Oh,
Well,
And
yeah.
that's why I decided to fold, because if I had some, I would not fold here.
You can
and maybe-
always just call and check if the spade comes and hope for a bluff. That's also implied odds.
Yeah,
Not a lot.
I tanked for 3 minutes. I had no clue if I should call or not. It felt like I would have thought, yeah, I mean, we can't run it in solver because it's 3-way. And the guy behind me only had like 12K left, so he wasn't really a factor.
Yeah,
He ended up
money,
folding
Spot if
too.
he calls.
It helps if he calls.
So I didn't add his money into the equation because I don't know what he's doing.
I think if you make this straight, you're still gonna get paid because he's gonna certainly have 2 pair there, right?
Yeah, he told me he had 2 pair. He didn't show his
Yeah.
hand, but I'm like, he's got 2 pair minimum here, right? So your 2 pairs set. He
It can
could
be
already
half
have the
pot or
straight.
whatever. And
If he already has a straight, I've got, 9
Yeah, you can
outs. But if he's got the set, 7 outs plus maybe the straight outs, 13. I don't know. It's so close.
It's close indeed, but I would call. Sure.
I think I should have called, yeah. But
Yeah.
I just kept thinking, I don't have any implied odds here, though. There's no more money going in if my cards
You don't have a
Oh,
lot of
oh,
You do,
the
you do
cards
have
that
implied
make
odds.
implied odds. I mean,
You do.
are total scare cards,
no, yeah, of course
Yes,
it's
but
a
if-
card, but still you will call a small bet with 2 pair or a set.
Yeah, I feel like I should have called and I made the wrong play.
You could have a worse ace, huh? Than him.
15K
Just note that
was,
you drawing 2 straight
that was 30 big
or
blinds.
drawing 2 flush.
So I
You
had
could
to
be
call.
drawn. You could be drawn to a flush and then bluff when the straight comes in, or you could be drawn to a straight and bluff when the flush comes in. So you will get paid off.
That's a good point. That was my other thought was
And
if
you
I
could
call
have-
the 30 bigs, I gotta jam the river. I gotta jam the river if I do that. And I wasn't ready to throw away 100 bigs on a miss.
No, you
Yeah.
don't have to.
I thought I did
It's
have
a,
to.
it's a
if I
multi-way
miss.
pot. It's a multi-way pot, so don't bluff it, too much.
Yeah, and I mean,
he probably has a strong hand, so
it's very dangerous, but you might win the pot if a 9 comes as well, right? Like you might
Yeah.
wind up getting some
Yep,
checks
yep.
on the river.
Yep, I factored that into the equation. I went through the math. Like I said, I take 3 minutes. I went through the math on all the different scenarios versus his range, whether I had 7 outs or up to 12. And the number I settled on was 9 was the average, which is 20%. I needed 21.4 and I didn't believe I had implied odds, so that's why I decided to fold. I figured it was a minus
I think that
1.4.
last time that's the wrong conclusion that you don't have implied odds. Against 2 pairs set you have implied. odds.
Yeah, no, it could be wrong, but it could be right. It's just every card that hits me
Nine,
that
some
is,
implied odds.
yeah, every card that hits me is a scare card to him. For
The people,
anybody with two pair or a
Yeah,
set.
he's not willing to call off a big bet, maybe, but he will call a bet.
Yeah, if you want, like on the river, if you make your hand, right, and it's scary if it's the spade or the king,
Yeah,
you can bet like 40% of his stack, and he's gonna call with two pair for 40% of his stack, where he might not call a jam,
Now call fold
right?
for the pot, whatever is less.
so, well, again, I think I'm supposed to call there and I think it's a mistake. That's why I wrote it down.
And also, under the gun isn't out yet. So under the gun could have called, and then you made your implied odds already.
Correct. Correct. He
Yeah,
looked he looked disinterested though, so I kind of figured he'd fold and he did.
Well, if you call, all of a sudden he's getting better odds, like better price too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Right.
There's a
So he
king.
could,
No.
You should call with a king. Hope for a 10 or whatever.
Yeah. Again, I think it's a mistake. It's just like, man, 30 bigs here is a freaking lot. So, but it's really not in comparison to the pot, you know. Anyways, I got one for HRC you might want to run too. I know we've probably done this in the past, and I know I'm probably at the between it's at the splits. We're down to 3 players the other night. I just won a big pot. I'm the chip leader. I have 1.5 million, which is only 25 bigs. There's 3.3 million in play. So this guy has 800K on the button, and I have 1.5. So that means the other guy has 1 million. Three-handed, end of the tournament. Guy jams on the button. I'm in the small blind. I have 6-6.
Get free reports.
So I think I would fold 5s. I think I would call 7s, and I'm looking at 6s, which I'm guessing is going to split, right? So his jam is 13 bigs. I have 25. The other guy at 1 million has like 14 or 15, 16, whatever, right in between us. What do you do? Pocket 6s. I think it splits, right?
yeah, I mean he's gonna have all the aces, all the kings.
Yep.
So I mean you're gonna be in good shape against a lot of hands.
Yeah, I think.
I check. Wow, I was on mute, man. I've been talking this whole time.
Oh.
I hate when it happens. I hate it.
Today is ignore Louis Philippe Day.
My God.
that's probably explained the dead silence when I said I had a hand. There's no response.
And if it helps, the guy next to me
I was like,
from-
Josh, tell me your hand, Josh. And then it was like nothing.
Well, let's let Chris finish his. There's a long delay. I'm like, oh
By
my
the
God,
way, Louis,
no one
the
wants to hear
guy,
this hand.
the guy next to me was from Quebec City, and he sounded exactly like you. And I said, "Can you do me a favor? Can you say, good morning, welcome to the poker coaching session for me?"
How did it sound?
Anyways, 6s.
Yeah, I think
Probably.
you need to fold. Easy fold with 6s for you.
You think it's an easy fold? I think it's a split. You want to run an HRC because
No, I think it's an easy fold for you, Chris. I can run it if you want, but I think it's way too close for equity. You have an edge in this game, so you don't need to take marginal spots like this. If it's ever a
Okay.
call, it's gonna be the bottom of the calls.
okay.
I think you'd
I mean,
have more of a spot with maybe 8s. 8s I would run. Nines I would al- 8s and 9s I would always run. 7s, it gets tricky. 6, I think it's an easy fold because it's probably a marginal call or a fold,
Yeah, no,
If we
I
make money, we
was-
make very little, so.
Yeah, I wanted to puke. I mean, I'm like, I think if it were 7s, I'd call. No, and not have an issue with it. But sixes, I was like, wow, I bet this folds a bunch, but I bet it calls some. So
Even sevens, I'm sure, are not printing.
anyways,
Yeah, both not printing. I mean, you can fold them and
yeah.
to the extent. I mean,
So I ended up calling after thinking about it for a while. Just I've been really, really, really aggressive at the final table. I mean, I was probably all in 15 times, working my way down. I was really aggressive.
Hmm.
So I ended up calling with the sixes and he had sevens. So I dropped down to like 12 bigs, but I still won the tournament. So that was good. But I just didn't feel like that was the right play. That's why
you're supposed to call less than that you jam yourself. Huh? I mean, jamming yourself sixes is not that bad, maybe, but
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't call off. Try not to
Don't call
call
off.
off on ICM.
call off
Hey,
tight.
I saw a thing with Kuhn where he said sixes. When you're at the final table, like three-handed like that, Kuhn's like, yeah, sixes, you gotta get in there and mix it up, but fives you don't. I remember him saying that.
Yeah,
I watch a lot of the poker go shit.
Yeah, but still,
with 3 players left, maybe, but with ICM, with pure ICM, like small pairs do extremely poorly.
look at
Yeah.
look at those giraffe gangers. He always says it. Don't gamble with your calls. Gamble with your jams.
Well, okay, so this is relevant. This is relevant to my hand. Then I have a question. Chris? Can I run this? It's a
Yeah,
one.
absolutely, please.
Yeah. So I just got back from North Carolina to the WSOP circuit event. First time doing that. It was I probably played 15 entries on 13 events.
Nice.
Actually, probably more. But anyway, so this is the main event. We're last level of the day, about halfway through. They bag at 16, pay at 15. So we're on the bubble, if you will. We're kind of getting close. So and I assessed myself to be the second least experienced person at the table. In the main event, I noticed the fields got much better than all the other events, earlier. So I'm under the gun. I have 20 blinds. I'm under the gun. I look down at pocket tens, and I min raise. So it folds around to the big blind who calls. The flop. So it's
Full ring?
sorry.
Pocket tens
Are you
under the
full
gun.
ring?
Okay.
Yeah, we're full ring. Yeah,
How
so
deep?
we're still. I mean, we're still over 100 people in the tournament. So we're full
How deep are you?
20.
20 bigs?
I start
Okay.
20 blinds. Yeah.
Okay.
And so the flop comes like 9-6-3 rainbow.
Good.
I'm sorry, monotone. That's relevant. Monotone. I do not have the heart or whatever it was.
Okay,
Okay.
and who's the caller?
Big blind.
You're in position?
Under the
Yeah, I'm
gun.
under the gun.
Yeah.
I would
Supposed to
venture to
bet.
say you could range bet.
Yeah, I was
That's
thinking you're
small.
supposed to bet. Isn't that a good board for us, especially because it's early position against late position?
Yeah. So
So
what's your
SPR, I
size?
think we generally bet small, even though your hand wants a lot of protection. I think you still just gotta bet small.
And I
Yep.
think I
Cause
thought
you
you
could
could
just have the
even.
nuts.
Oh yeah, I was thinking you could even probably. Maybe I'm wrong. I was thinking maybe you could size up a little bit just because of that though too, because you need a little bit of protection too.
Yeah, but aren't you? I mean, so you're
No,
20. You're
you
20.
can't-
You take 20
can't
blinds. You
continue
put two
without it.
into.
I don't think we
That's
ever
the
do
fault
anything
of
but bet
James,
small
so
bet small.
monotone.
That's small.
Okay.
You have to fold a lot.
So what? It's 5 blinds because it's a big blind ante. So it's 5.5 blinds in the pot, right? So what's your bet? You're betting 2.
Yeah,
One and a
but
half,
what is the
yeah.
board?
9-6-3.
9-6-3 monotone. No
Okay.
flush blocker in your hand.
I just bet super small, like
Monotone.
20%.
Yeah, 9-3-2. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think you could bet that because I don't think he's flattened too many of those. You know what I mean? Let's see. Behind me.
Well, so that's an interesting point because I mean, really, what is what's the flatting range against UTG Open when
Well, he's
you?
not gonna have sets on that
I think
board.
it's a
I
lot
think
of
he's gonna
Broadway,
jam a
right?
lot of stuff up the
Yeah.
I think it's
nines.
everything. I think it's. I mean, he's seeing the blind for. He's seeing. By the way, let me back
He
up.
has the low ones. Deuces and
effective stack. I'm the effective stack, and he covers me by a lot. And again, I said, I'm the second least experienced person at the table. He was not the least experienced person.
I
don't
just think
he's
that's always a
calling
small
everything.
bet though on those flops versus big blind especially.
So what is that, 2 blinds?
Yeah, like 20%, 1.5, whatever. I mean, you could probably even throw one out.
They're 9-6-2, Louis.
Yeah, 2 blinds is also okay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I
that
mean, it's fine, as long as it's small,
bet,
right?
small
Like,
bet.
I've
Oh,
been,
yeah.
I've been
'cause if he doesn't
experimenting
have a
small bet
spade, he's
25%.
gonna call like some pairs, and he's not gonna love it if he doesn't have a spade in his hand. You're gonna get him to get an awful lot of stuff by the river.
So
Yes,
The
this
but-
is,
SPR is really low.
Yeah, and unless he has like a really good flush draw, I would think you're gonna fold out a lot of stuff because, I mean, what is he really? I mean, he's gonna call his
Range bet
overpair.
small,
Yeah,
solver.
so this
makes
is
it-
what your flop strategy should look like bet small 99.9% of the time.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, bet 1.9 or something.
Yeah, so let's go to Fantasyland because I did not play this right. So let's say I bet small and he check raises you. Let's say you bet 2 and he makes it.
I would just rip it.
I
You're
just,
getting it,
Josh,
you're getting it in no matter what.
I just have a quick thing to tell you. Whenever you're in position and you're looking at the monotone board and you're heads up, you can range bet. Small.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on, if you're in position and you have a monotone board, you can range bet.
He was out of position. Though. I mean, he was out of
Nope,
position though,
he-
right?
He was under the gun versus big blind. He was in.
Yeah,
position.
he's in
Oh, I
position.
thought you. Yeah.
That's
Oh, I
why-
thought you
that's
said
why-
late. I thought you said late position. That's why. I'm sorry. I
But
thought.
it works
UTG
even more from
UTG
late position. But
This is UTG versus button.
Doesn't matter. You have to.
Yeah.
Which, how big did he check raise?
Well, I'm in Fantasyland, so I'm making this up at this point. I didn't do that.
so we bet small, he check raise.
Yeah, he checked raise. So
We
he didn't.
ripping.
I'm making this up. I mean,
You can
what I
jam.
did was
Yeah.
We're
wrong.
I
ripping
think we
it up with
call, I think we
overpair.
call the spade and jam without it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually,
I wouldn't
and
just
this
jam
is
them
wrong,
all.
and I actually
Yeah,
did
I mean,
this
that's fine.
twice
Why would it
over
do?
the tournament series, and I actually probably did this 5 times, but I remember the 2 that didn't work. I jammed. I just went, fuck
Oh, you
it.
should Jam.
I'm staying with the hand. I want to end it. I'm not the best player at the table.
Well, it's a
And-
thing here. It's a thing here.
No, I jammed.
Open jamming is not a thing, okay?
Nah.
Open jamming, that's not optimal, but if you get check raise, you could. It would have been.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah. And I would have lost.
Without
both
the
these.
check raise, Louis, is that how much EV do you lose if you?
Yeah, so like open jamming's probably not horrible. It's just not
Not
optimal.
best, the worst play probably, but I wouldn't do it.
Well, I did it twice memorably. I did the same thing, probably, I wasn't UTG, but I was a couple off of that, with pocket sevens, 20 blinds. And I opened the big blind calls. The flop came, oh, I'm sorry, that's wrong. I opened ace 7 suited, middle position, but big blind calls, flop comes 7 high. And I did the same thing. He checks, I jam, he turns over.
How
pocket
deep?
sevens.
Yeah, you can't do
20
that.
blinds, the same. So the takeaway for me was I got to work on my 20 blind play.
Yeah,
Because-
just bet small.
Yeah.
Bet
Yeah,
small,
no,
check raise
that's
small.
right.
Even at 20 big blind, you have
I think
lots.
on
of
a rainbow board
playability.
you can bet a bit bigger. I mean that's
But are you ever getting away from top or
no,
um,
you
oh,
can
no,
get it top.
What's helped me is that
Problem is, they're gonna
Like
have
how
some
you said the
overpairs in their
20 big
call.
blinds.
20 big blinds. Any pair is almost playing pot of almost playing all in.
I used to shove all the time with like 20 big blinds, stuff like now I don't even come close to it. I'm like, I
Yeah.
start to think about shoving literally 15 or less. And even then I still can put raises in.
I mean, I think if you
That's
So
how
know
I
lock
brought
it to have you,
I brought to the series Jonathan Little's, lecture on not using the pre-flop shove charts below 12, above 12 blinds.
Yeah.
And so I am playing these hands, but what I find is when I get to the flop, and I've got top or better, I figure I'm going with it, so I might as well end the hand. And I don't think.
I think if you know locked it to open jam, tens would probably be in
No,
there.
there's a
but
big
it's not too
difference.
bad.
There's a big difference you're missing out here, Josh.
Okay.
Josh, because when you make a play with top pair and you bet and you end up not folding, you keep bluffs in from your villain and you end up winning equity. When you open jam, you're never facing a bluff and you're not gaining that equity that
Yeah,
you should
yeah.
gain.
Because they're just gonna shove either with the draw,
Yeah.
a big
Yeah.
monster draw that
You're
could beat
usually
you,
in
or you're
trouble
already
when you
beat.
get called.
So you're
Yeah,
burning
yeah,
your
yeah,
own
yeah.
equity when you do that. Simply.
No, you're
so
right.
simple.
So like if I brought the hands that I wasn't embarrassed about to this group, I wouldn't be learning anything. So yeah, I agree.
Oh, no, no,
You
no.
know, you know what too? I used to be really scared of like the monotone flops. You know, all my mind used to think, oh shit, it's so easy for them to have one spade or anything like that. But as in this group and then other stuff too, I'm learning that, you know, when you have like two tone, that's just more combinations that they could have to float to get to their crab. You know what I mean? Whereas when you're on and I never thought of it that way. So it's actually helped me to think. I used to think, okay, 3 of one card, that's horrible. But now honestly, that's just less
You hope that
combinations
he
they can
has a
have.
spade that he can continue.
Yeah, no, but you understand what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's kind of made it a little easier for me to where even though it was hard at the beginning, it's just recently where I started doing that, betting the monotone flops. Whereas before I'd always be scared if I didn't have one. I was always
Yeah, but that's also accepting how to call it variance. That,
variance, yeah.
sometimes you lose, but most of the time you're good. So
And a lot of times too,
Yeah,
for betting,
yeah,
they can have
yeah.
us. How many times does somebody bet on a monotone flop? You have a small spade and you're worried. Now, and then, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's tough. You're still putting pressure on them.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you
at these
also-
20 blinds, so I was really focused on not, blinding down a ton when I got into the 20s. And so I did a lot of successful reshoving, and I did one that was just gross and I hit it and managed to do well in this
Working
tournament,
now?
but
No.
not this one, another tournament. But
I also still make that mistake. That's I sometimes go to a quick with ace king and not slow playing.
well, actually, I actually like when I'm in the 20s, if I have a hand that I mean, there's a lot of 3-bet shoving pre-flop in the low 20s, right?
Yeah,
If you
that's
look at the
true.
pre-flop
Three
charts.
betting, yes, but
Oh no, I'm not open shoving anything over. I'm basically I'm
Still,
open shoving. I learned a
still
lot
with
from
ace
this
king, you
group
can
because
also
I'm
three
open
bet
shoving.
small,
So what happened in
Ace
the
king
hand?
can still 3-bet small and get a lot of aces.
Oh no, I mean it was a simple. I shoved. He turned over a flush, and that was the end of the tournament.
Oh, he had the flush. Wow, that's
Yeah.
that's no
That's-
big deal. That happens. It's fine.
Oh no, I wasn't worried about the cooler as much as, or the cooler's the wrong, whatever you want to call that. I'm like, I twice shoved, an overpair top, and as Louis said, I gave up all the value from a call, and I completely, defined his range, his calling range, and so. I think it's wrong, and so I have to figure out a better way to play it, even though the results.
Yeah, because he's just gonna call you with either he has it now or you let him off the hook. One of the two.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that could happen here is, trying to entice me. He could let me off the hook, and I could wind up with like 8 blinds or something.
Little bit of chip.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I got one more really tough one. I thought it was probably the hardest hand I played of the week too. And I think I know what Pio is gonna say, but I really want to see Louis run it, see. 100 big blinds deep under the gun. I open ace, queen offsuit
20,
with
you
a,
said
with
20,
a
right?
spade. What's that?
You said 20 big blinds.
100 big blinds.
Okay,
So the flop's gonna be 4 of spades, 6 of spades, 8 of
Whoa.
diamonds.
100 gun versus.
I'm under the gun versus big blind.
Okay.
this is 80 big blinds, so close enough.
Close enough. I use 80 big blind charts for 100. So I open to 900, which is 2.2x or it's 200, 400.
This
So
mic working?
2.25x.
Yeah, I
Did
can hear
not.
you.
We get a couple calls. Big
Right.
blind check raises to 5,000, which is 12 and a half bigs.
Hang on, what is the board, Chris?
The
8, 6,
board
4,
is
2-tone.
4 of spades, 6 of spades, 8 of diamonds.
8-6-4.
8, 6, 4, 2 spades,
That's a good, that's
I know
a,
this
That,
is-
that's fine. We'll use hearts instead, yeah.
that smashes the big line, right? 'Cause
So
I mean,
we'll
it's straight.
pretend it's hearts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, good,
but he check raised me to 5K.
I'm probably just folding.
I mean, he didn't check
Call?
raise, he just raised to 5K.
So check raise big or
So-
check raise small?
The guy is very, very good player and understands Pio.
But is it, he's check raising small or big?
No, I meant he raised. He raised to 5,000 pre-flop.
What position is he?
He's the
Oh.
big blind and I'm under
three
the gun.
betting. He's three betting.
Yeah, I'm
No.
confusing the way you're saying it. I'm
Yeah,
trying
he's
to-
he's three big. I said check raise, I didn't mean
Yeah.
check raise. He's three, we're not to the flop yet. So I have
Mhm.
ace queen, I open to 2.25.
He's squeezing.
He makes it 12 and we're 100 deep, so I call with ace of
And
diamonds,
queen off.
queen of spades, but it'll be a heart. Or the queen will be a heart for this
What is the
scenario
flop?
you have.
Yeah, okay. What does he do on
Okay.
flop?
So that flop comes 4-6-8.
Yeah,
He C bets to 6.25 big blinds.
that's
About
small.
25%. Yeah, you're gonna float, right?
I'm gonna always call here because I got the spade, the queen of spades with it, so I
Okay.
call.
Yeah.
Turn is a queen of hearts, so I make top. He bets 20 big blinds.
Yeah, he's
I would
supposed
call.
to size up.
We have 72 remaining in our stack, so now he's down to 52. We're about even. I think I have him covered by like 2,000 chips. It's
I would
really
call.
close.
I would just call.
You need to
I
call?
call. And I'm thinking in my head, okay, any card except a king is probably good here for me, so. River is the king of clubs. He goes all in for 52
Oh.
bigs. What do?
I would fold.
Yeah, fold.
I'm a nit.
This
but
guy is a very good player.
What's the board again?
He's not supposed to bet that.
It
Four,
was eight
six
high
of
flop,
spades,
queen,
8 of
king.
diamonds, queen of hearts, king of clubs. So I have second pair, top kicker.
So you're losing like aces, ace, king, king, queen. And what bluffs does he have? Did the flush get there?
Flush did not get there, but unfortunately I have the queen of spades, so I block some of the
Blocking
flushes.
two high spades, that's
But
a
he
He's not gonna
also,
be bluffing with an ace. The queen, you're not blocking.
You
I
can
mean,
fold since you have the spade.
Yeah,
And you
but
can
it-
call when you don't have a spade.
and then isn't he very strong because he basically three bet you from the big blind when he could have just seen a flop.
Yep,
So that's,
So
you know
he's
what I mean?
strong.
I
Could
think,
even have queens, still, but that's only one combo, of course.
I won't go through my 2.5 minutes of thinking. I called.
what do
And
you
I
have?
think it's a call, and I think Pio will say it's a call. And that's why I called, because this guy knew Pio. And I call out his hand before I called too.
So you won,
So
what do you
I
have?
went through, okay, what are his bluffs? I went through all the combos. And it was 30 bluff combos to 24 value combos, which is
I
not
mean, like
enough.
jack ten, I think's in there. Jack
No,
ten suited.
I
Nine,
think you
10 of
need,
spades.
like the rule of thumb in a three bet pot, usually you don't get to fold a pair. Okay, so top pair, like second pair top kicker usually is not folding in a three bet pot.
I
but
think
if you-
Pio's calling here, yeah.
Yeah, if you have a card of the suit like a spade, you need to fold
Do you-
because
do you
then you're
think-
blocking the bluffs.
Do you think they're
I'm with
raising
it,
three
it's
betting
not-
9-10 of spade from the button? I mean, from the big blind?
He's a good
With an
player,
open
yes.
raise?
He would.
At a
He-
Open under
hundred,
the, open
probably
under the
not
gun
at a
rise?
hundred.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
shouldn't really be three
you-
betting those
you just be-
combos.
yeah, you just be flatting and see a flop and with being that deep to try to smash something, I would think.
Could be squeezing.
Yep.
He's
Could be
squeezing.
squeezing because there were multiple callers in between too.
He's squeezing.
Oh, really?
Yep.
But still,
Yeah,
he's
Yeah,
like-
you didn't say that part.
under the gun
He
player.
was very aggressive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He
Chris,
knew Pio. He
Under
was
the
a very
gun
good
player.
player.
Pretty tight.
I would not have called against anyone else at the table other than him with this hand. So I sat there, I take for 2.5 minutes. I'm like, okay, what are his 3 bets pre-flop? So unfortunately, king, queen is one of them, which gets there on the river.
Yep.
But I'm like ace jack, ace ten offsuit. The 10-9s. Ace fours, ace fives, right? So ace fours, ace fives can continue because of the 4, 6, 8. Ace four is a pair. He might do this. Run it. I guarantee it's gonna be a call. I did call, and I called his hand to him as one of the ones I would say. I said several, but looking at the odds, he bet 52 into the pot, which was
What was
what?
his hand?
He had ace jack offsuit.
Is he supposed to 3-bet ace jack offsuit even? I don't think so.
I
If
don't
he's
think so
squeezing, it's
either.
probably good.
Squeezing.
Oh,
Got two good
no.
blockers.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
But you
with
didn't
the
say though
squeeze.
there
Not
was
against
other
under the
people in the
gun.
pot
I
at
don't
first.
believe
So
it.
too.
Against under the gun.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. I think
Under the gun.
I think it's like, can't you bet like ace five suited, stuff like that, but I don't think like. Yeah,
That's too
Guy
much.
was pretty aggressive though.
Yeah, but is he?
Nobody else at the table I would have called off, but him, I thought it was
You're
fine.
right this time, but you could have a lot of value hands also.
No doubt, he could have 24 value hands is what I figured.
Yeah.
But he could have had 30 bluffs, so I'm
Yeah.
doing the math
Give
going,
him,
well,
ace jack and ace 10 off, yes, but
if he's supposed to have 2-to-1 value to bluff on the river at a pot size bet,
and did he have a spade?
he's not even close to the right ratio, so that
Did he
makes
have a
this a
spade?
call. My MDF is like 67%. I'm
Chris.
well within my
Chris.
MDF. for ace
Chris,
queen.
Chris, did he have a spade?
I had a spade.
Did he have a spade?
No, he didn't have a spade.
Then it's close.
Yeah.
If he has a spade, he shouldn't do it ever, I think. But still, I wouldn't do it with ace jack. I mean, ace jack.
So-
But
yeah, I'm not 3-betting either from the button.
at least not
Especially against
100%.
under the gun,
At least
yeah.
not 100% of the time. I mean, maybe it's in.
I mean, I've done it from like middle position and stuff, just to, you know what I mean?
Against
Right.
low jack, etc. I would do
Yeah,
it. Under the gun, I wouldn't.
yeah.
So
Hey,
it's not
Louis,
too
you
often in
wanna-
poker.
Yeah, but
I'm
it's a
proud of-
squeeze. I don't think you wanna call. I don't think he wanted to call with ace jack off with multiple players in the hand, cuz you know, maybe suited we fine, but I
Yeah,
think he just saw a lot of dead money in the pot and thought it was a good spot to go for it, right?
But against under the gun, Ken, that's my
But
problem.
not only under the gun. I mean, under the gun's got
Yeah, but
a lot of
the
open folds.
players that call an under the gun raise also. I mean, they don't have nothing.
No, he thinks all
It's
the problems
live too. You
in
gotta
between
realize he's,
are dead money.
Yeah, but then you have to know indeed the.
yeah, I mean, you gotta realize he's playing live 100 big blinds deep where people love the splash.
You know
Yeah,
what? That is, you know what? I will say that you made a point there because my before the way I played was bigger the bigger the more blinds you had, I used to play looser. In all reality, it's the reverse, right?
Right, but these
Should be
people
played
love to,
tighter.
love to see flops. for
That's
some
what I'm trying to
reason.
tell you. Yeah, that's when you said that, that's so true.
I'm playing
that-
I'm
that is-
playing some kind of ultra deep stack tomorrow. It's gonna be
a
a
lot of-
nightmare.
Yeah, a lot of those people that flattered are probably players that just want to see flops because they figure, oh, I got a lot of chips. Versus
Yep.
if you were, yeah.
But then it's an.
Well, hold on a second.
extra
Yeah, like
thing.
if you look at pre-flop frequencies, 200 big blinds deep versus 80 big blinds deep, aren't they higher? I mean, I think there is an argument for a certain amount of
You play tighter, deeper.
Yeah.
pre-flop.
There's a
Yeah,
bad, there's really, there's.
Yes,
a
you wanna
really- the
pay more-
reverse implied, there's reverse implied odds when you have so
Yeah.
many chips.
No, I get all, but what about, I mean, aren't you playing a little, you're playing probably a little bit less of the trouble hands and a little bit more of the,
Suited,
you know,
suited
suited hands?
hands. You're playing a lot.
Yeah,
of-
you can play a lot of the lower suited two gappers
Okay.
and stuff, I
That's-
think, in
yeah.
certain spots.
Against two players, the big blind is just calling according to the pre-flop ranges.
Yeah,
Well,
that
I was very proud of myself in that hand, and I'm not very proud of myself ever in anything, but
Yeah, but it's a pure exploit. It's not a pile.
Well played.
I
much did
think
you win,
Kyle
Chris?
absolutely calls that hand, and that's why I decided to.
No,
after.
Pio wouldn't 3-bet that hand.
Well, and Pio couldn't solve it either because you were multi-way.
Hey,
I have for two players.
Only pre-flop
half the
though.
range.
Chris,
Only multi-way pre-flop.
we're proud of you too, buddy.
Thanks. That made my week. So let's see, 80 bigs. I want to see what he's supposed to do. What his three bets
Yeah, but
are.
that depends, of course, on the pre-flop ranges. If you should give him the ranges, yes, then you should
Big
call.
blind versus a raise from.
Yeah, I think he did good, but I think he made a mistake by raising.
Yeah, he made a big mistake.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
he
happy-
did. So
I'm happy.
king, queen is in there,
It's just
but king, yeah, ace, jack is not,
exploit.
but
It's an
ace
exploit.
five, ace six, ace four, okay. And then the suited tens.
Are you looking at multi-way range? Do you have three-way ranges?
I looked
No,
at
I don't have three-way. I'm just ignoring
I had
What
three.
I'm
what were
ignoring
the,
the
I have
others.
some. What were the positions?
that called.
Yeah, so you open under the gun, right?
It was like button and hijack, I think.
I looked at undergun and cutoff, and then ace jack is pure call.
What,
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
think
are.
it's a pure call too, but
Ace 10 is also pure call. Ace queen is raising some percent. It's not 100% even.
oh, if you looked, I don't have to look.
I did look it up, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't, if you looked, I don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, the guy could just be playing it where he's like, okay, this ace jack is gonna squeeze, and people are gonna overfold against it.
Yeah.
And if I get, like, he could have ace jack here as one of the ones where if he gets 4-bet, he just gives up, right?
Yeah.
Because ace 10 does that too, right? Ace 10 3-bets and folds.
Jack off, that's-
well, I tell you what, it's because of the homework and the study group here is why I made that call, and knowing what the ratios and the combos, combinatorics of it all are. And suddenly at level 4, the toughest opponent at the table was out of the tournament, and I had free reign for hours after that.
Great work.
Yeah, that's
Well played, because you did it. You called because you knew he was capable of doing that.
yeah, I would not have called anybody else at the table. He's the only one I would call with
I know,
that,
I know.
because he knew what the hell he was doing. He was very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
All
great
right,
call.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chris has a really good result.
He's not that good.
let's get on with the study session.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He's not that good, but in my head, I had the ace jack as one of his.
He's aggressive and he's getting away with it a lot.
I even gave him the ace 10 as
That's
the
good.
3-bet there too. So maybe I had too many bluffs in his range, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
And if
There's
he
a webinar
3-bet, and if he
soon.
3-bet in the blind, he didn't know Pio as good as you thought he did.
No, no, he didn't. But at
I'm
that
messing with
point,
you.
he was
I'm
making,
messing with
all his bet sizes were really good. He knew what he was doing up to that
Yeah,
point.
but you also give him ace 10 off, huh, even so.
Yeah, no, but I didn't count that in the equation. I thought that was
Okay.
too much. So that's why I only had 30 bluff
And then you
combos
have to
and not,
discount
I did
all
not
the
have-
if plates he shouldn't bluff.
yeah, I did not have 42 bluff combos if I include the ace 10, so I didn't even count those. Only the ace jacks. Ace jacks and king queens were 24, and then I had 6 other ones for, I forget what they were at the time.
Yeah, but there aren't 12 ace jacks that he should bluff. Because if you
Yeah.
have 8, you shouldn't bluff.
Yeah. Again, super aggressive player and good.
Super aggressive play.
And those are the guys I'm gonna call down a lot.
You played with
later
him
against.
before?
No.
Well, how do you know he's aggressive? Didn't the tournament just start?
It was level 4
Oh,
at 40-minute levels. I mean, that's, you know, almost 3 hours of playing with the guy.
Yeah, the run out is also that he doesn't have a lot of ace king there.
Well, that he did it. Yeah,
That's
he does have ace kings there.
Hmm.
He does have ace kings there, and that's why I was thinking in my head, please don't be a king on the river.
I honestly would have folded because in my mind, they're not gonna, blast off 100 big blinds there when they bet.
Yeah,
Well,
that
yeah,
guy,
When
that
they
guy.
bomb
would-
That's what I was
turn
gonna
river
say
on that
about-
run out in a 3-bet pot. It's like you could just so easily be sitting there with the good.
Yes, most players are
That
playing.
guy would have. I watched him bluff so many times in 3 hours, though.
Yeah,
Well, I
but-
wanted to say.
I mean, how
about
do you
the
know
idea
he's
of
bluffing unless he
flashing
gets
ace king for
caught?
3 streets.
He got caught bluffing many, many
I think
times.
it's a
Well, how does he
will.
have so many chips?
Yeah, this is the story gets better.
He only had a starting stack at level 4 still.
100
You said
bigs, you
100
said,
big
right?
blinds. Yeah, you said 100.
You said 100 bigs.
Yeah,
This
it's a
is,
stack.
yeah, this is, you start with 400 bigs.
Oh, that's.
And it
insane.
was level 4 of 40-minute levels. This is a big, big tournament. So
Oh,
This was a 300K guarantee.
it was like 175 guarantee.
But you're saying he's playing over aggressive, so he's fish actually. He's not
Yeah.
a good player.
he's
Okay.
a pot.
He was
That's an
playing,
hour
We're
there.
gonna
Let's stay
study.
on
dude,
with
I'm
this.
telling you, he was playing
We're
pretty
gonna
well.
study?
I mean, he was playing pretty well. He was making the right bet sizes for situations. He was doing everything pretty well.
Come on, guys, we spent almost an hour now. We gotta get on to the hand histories, onto the study group.
Well, we have 8 minutes till Matt starts.
Oh, great.
Oh my god.
That's why we thought we'd do this and we can do it
No,
right
no, no.
after.
If you have hands, we're gonna look at them. I can put them in the sim. I'm also looking at this little spot, small blind versus. under the-
Hold. Yeah, hold your horses. I got a good one here.
Oh, we
Matt
got
is
Galen in here. Yeah, let's do that. one.
multi-way today too, so that's good. I like that stuff.
Do this, with
I
this
like going
ICM
over hands.
spot,
This
right?
is- I think this is a good use of time.
Can I share the screen, Galen?
Share the screen, dude. I got so much stuff going on. I will share the screen, but I need like,
What stuff?
I lose the feed.
I got
Let me
so
switch
much
to
going
Zoom.
on.
Damn.
dude, this is the hand I'm talking about. Like, it's just a
That's
simple pre-flop spot, right? So I had
It's a
10 big blinds,
professional screen right there.
10 big blinds, 40 big blinds, 400 bounty.
Can
Well,
you
yeah,
click on the
200.
download button on top?
Which one? This one?
Yep.
All right. And
Jesus Christ, how do you keep track of it all?
It's only playing 8 boards.
That's all.
Oh, God. I get nauseous after 2.
Is this now or
I
is this
know.
recorded?
no, this is going on right now.
And I'm getting
Uh,
dizzy. I'm getting dizzy looking at his screens.
showing
Jesus
folder,
Christ.
The
copy
download folder.
here. Let's see if this works. Paste. No, is that gonna work?
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
thing.
Click enter underneath.
I've got, yeah,
Oh, I can't-
Upload.
I've got another good one for you guys.
Whose screen is this?
This is mine. Get. What am I?
Damn, I
doing?
can't play that many at once.
So I'll tell you on the Poker Star
Oh,
site
yeah.
that they would flag the Zoom call and shut you down. That's
Who has a hand?
This one.
Tim here, I have one, if nobody else has one ready.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, go.
This is a little bit of a brag, but it's, goes into the category of like trust your reads, right? So I'm playing either a 109 or a 215 last weekend. And I have this guy at my table and I know he's super, super aggressive, right? Check raising flops like 30% of the time. He's won like $100,000, but like clearly really pushes it, So I'm expecting to get out of line.
Sure.
And let's see, I want to give this one into. I put in the study group. Is that a good place to put this?
yeah, you can share your screen.
Okay, I'll share my screen.
Now you can.
It's this one. Okay, you guys with me?
See it.
Right. Yeah, 50 bigs, raising king, queen off from early position seems unremarkable,
Okay.
right?
And the caller is in the big blind.
Caller's in the big blind. That's this guy paracetamol. Yeah, he's calling off of a stack of 11 bigs. This might have been like the very end of re-entry or something. He had just re-entered. Do you bet Jack 8 without a flush card? I think I do. I think I'm still range betting here. And
Yeah,
so
you
I
do.
bet.
Yeah, board, yeah.
Right? That's what I thought. On a paired board, I'm comfortable betting this.
Turn blind.
I stole the screen.
Oh.
So Jack 8. He checks. We are range betting
What-
definitely.
Cool. When it's weird too, because shacks are just so shallow, right?
Yeah.
SPR 2.
Yeah, she's
Uh,
bet small a lot.
Are you not 60 big blind effective?
No, big blind
No,
called
you're
off a
12 blinds
12.
effective.
Yeah,
12.
big blind called off a 12 bigs.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That might change things.
I thought it said
I know.
50. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I had 50 bigs.
Yeah, the
Oh.
effective stack has 12.
got it. Sorry.
I
Yep.
still think you gotta bet small, even though I just know that, like, I'm sitting there thinking they're just playing stop and go so often now they're gonna jam so much crap when I see bet, but I still
I
think.
think it was
Glenn, like
Jack, Jack 8, right?
yeah, Jack 8. And I'm calling
Yeah.
with an ace high easily against a check jam. You know, an
Yeah.
ace high is a slam dunk call. Get
Yeah, I
it
mean, you
in.
gotta kinda call with overcards, I think, right?
On Jack 7, you're checking off of the time. On Jack 8, rainbow.
It's Jack 8. That's important.
Oh, it's Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack 8.
Because like I have ace jack at full frequency. I have 16
Range
combos.
bet.
I have
Pure range
Yeah.
bet.
Cause
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he's not
exactly.
gonna have, ace jack, he's not gonna have king jack probably, he might not have queen jack suited. So he's not gonna have jacks plus, he's not gonna have any pairs, so.
And then if we look at Jack 5 for the flush draw, pure range bet.
Yeah.
So clear range bet on your hand for the flop.
So yeah, I bet and get called. Turn pairs the 8.
Okay, so he should not be calling any very much here. He only calls 10% of the time.
Right?
Yeah, what's his
Call.
trap? He's calling with, he's raising jacks? I thought he would just trap with them.
So interesting. He found one of his right calls. It has him calling with 9-7 off, some
Yeah,
amount, raising it some and calling it some. So
Okay,
this is
so-
another thing. When he should donk a lot here and he failed to.
Yeah, but not with 9-7. You shouldn't dunk 9-7 a lot.
He has a little bit. He's got,
Yeah, a little bit, but not a lot.
well, but he raised some of it on the flop. He missed that raise. He donked some of it here. He missed that donk. So, you know, it's like a little bit, you know, like we've missed the
Yeah.
aggressive action a couple times from him.
Yeah.
Got a lot of raise on the flop and then a small donk on the turn. So anyway, I'm not betting this pairs, right? With king, queen.
I don't know.
You are pure.
I'm still betting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Trying to get a size to fall, I think.
I wouldn't find that bet either, to be honest.
I figured like this was just like anti-poker, middle of my range.
I
I
would
don't
like-
wanna get aggressive.
I would like check everything that
I
was.
know, it's weird, right? But
Yeah,
At-
but the
at
pot
this-
is so
your-
you only
your range
have-
is super tight, super condensed towards like a size and a really narrow condensed range. So
But like, I'm betting
only
queen
bluff you
10,
have
queen
is
9
king
here to get him off king highs. Like, you know, I'm not betting my king high here.
No, only king queen is the only hand that has no draw. There's no.
Right,
it wants to bet every king
Worst
high
hand in
and
the
check
world.
most a size.
yeah.
Oh, Matt's in an hour. It's
Correct.
not now. We got an hour till Matt
That's cool.
starts.
I think he's got a good
So
weapon on
anyway-
two multi-way flops. I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, so he check called flop. What's his range?
But on the flop, like he doesn't have very many calls.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's why I'm just checking behind a lot. I'm like, what the hell has this guy got? Like, he shouldn't be floating really anything.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
Yeah.
that I'm
if-
not
if-
beating already, like,
if
what's,
you have value bets, you must have bluffs, and the only bluffs you have are either draws or king queen off.
well, like I said, I'm probably checking everything, so I don't need bluffs if I'm checking.
Yeah, but I wouldn't check everything. I would bet a jack.
I mean, I'm not gonna bet a jack because I got the board locked down and I don't wanna bet over pairs because you can just
Yeah,
be trapping
yeah.
me with the jack. That's why I feel like weird when they check, when they call. It's kind of feels weird there, like it's not a spot they can float.
So how'd the hand play out?
Galen,
And
if
so
you want
anyway,
to
so,
put, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
so turn goes check, check. And then, the river is a brick. It's an offsuit deuce. And he jams, and I think about it for about 3 seconds, and I call because I'm just against some opponents. I think you can find a fold here, but against this guy, never finding a fold. You know, he's like won $140,000 by betting people with 9 high. That's how you
Well,
do
it's
it.
hard to know if he lost money or won. Like I show that I won money on Bob too, but I promise you I
Ace ten
haven't
is
won any
folding.
money.
Even aces are folding, so you should fold king queen. Actually,
This is not mob, by the way. This is uh, what's it called?
Shark scope?
Oh, you're
Shark
online.
scope?
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
this is
That's much
online.
better.
This
Yeah, it's
is,
much better.
Shark scope, isn't
gosh,
it?
yeah, shark scope. I could not think of it for the life of me.
That's
Yep.
accurate.
Yeah, so this guy's like a super crusher, and that I know, like, I know his flop frequencies
Yeah,
are
but
through
still
the
king
So
roof.
you called him with king high and he.
Yeah, I
and what-
snap called,
That
snap
is a sick
called.
brag, but it's a deserving sick
you're a
brag. That's
sick
awesome.
call. Who's
You
calling
block
sick?
bluffs with the
You're a
king,
rock
queen too,
star.
though.
No,
So
he's-
that's kind of like you want to unblock bluffs when you call, right?
He's
Well, and
supposed.
this is what I thought about,
Yeah.
not having a 10, not
Queen is
having a
not,
9,
queen
straights
is-
never got there, flushes never got there, like,
Guys,
just think he has too
what
many
is
bluffs
he
here.
Value betting. What is he
he's
bluffing?
value betting boats. He's value
What
betting
is he
boats. and
bluffing? What is he
He's
bluffing?
bluffing any 2 cards, man, any 2 cards.
Yeah, not.
He's bluffing everything he gets to the river with.
Louis, what were you saying?
Go in your poker crap.
I would call with an
So
ace.
in other words, he plays like me. If you show, if I get like a hint of weakness, I'm just gonna run it on you.
Yep.
If you want, send me the whole tournament. I will find the hand.
I would have bet the turn actually with king queen, so I'm not in that position. I would call off with an ace probably sometimes.
Complete a tournament,
If I know he's very aggressive, I would call with any ace probably. But,
show last 3 days.
When I got into his hand
What
with
are
him, I
these
think I had
colors?
just shark scoped him, and knowing that he was so out of line, I think I wanted actually to give him the rope, you know, like giving a player like this.
yeah, but I wouldn't do that with king queen. I would do that with an ace.
Check that
Fair.
back.
For the same, he could bluff with an ace.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's what I worry about too,
That's
because
the
I think, I'm
problem.
afraid some people will bluff an ace that has showdown value, and when I
Real
call, I'm
problem.
just like, oh my god.
He will
God,
probably.
he's
Can I ask
bluffing
you
him.
a practical question about shark scope when you're gonna?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if he's bluffing an ace here, that's so disgusting.
Yeah, but he will.
I don't think this guy will. I think this guy has a lot of lower in range stuff. You know, like I think he's got 9
It's
high,
also
10
lower,
high,
but
queen
he probably will also bluff an ace. I
high.
would do that sometimes.
I mean, you can bluff your worst aces to try to get better aces to fold. You're not gonna bluff your best aces, though, right? You're not gonna bluff ace, king, ace.
The ace is
Well, he's
always.
not gonna have them anyway. He's just
The ace is
jamming.
always
It's
the
weird,
best.
though. Yeah, actually,
matter what
I kind
ace.
of don't agree about bluffing aces because he has all of his under pairs got counterfeited. And he should arrive here with some frequency of like 7s and below, you know? So
He
like
should all
all
jam
of those
pre-flop.
hands.
He shouldn't have them.
Well, yeah,
He can bet an ace and bluff you off an ace. Which he
yeah,
chops
sure,
it.
bluff up. Right.
Yeah,
bluff
because
up
you're gonna
the
have the
flop.
better aces and he's gonna have weak aces. He's not gonna have any of the better aces either, because he's jamming them. He's jamming
Right,
ace,
Right,
king,
the
ace,
better
king,
aces
ace.
don't matter anymore. We're chopping.
Two pair
Yeah, we're
board.
chopping.
They are not better aces.
Okay, so I
Oh,
node
right.
locked him into going all in with all of his range here. And if he does it, it's okay to call with king eye. You have a profitable call. So if you're
very
sure
profitable call,
he
actually.
goes in with all of it, you
Yeah.
have a good call.
Can you give him like half of it or something? I'm curious.
Sure.
Depends
Also,
what.
I always have trouble node locking, so I'd be curious to watch you do it because this is the one thing in Pilot that I'm
I mean,
never.
it kind of looks like a reasonable,
You must be very careful.
looks
eh?
like a reasonable jamming range.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy if you go in that way.
But no, I mean, I had fun with this hand. It's one of these times you just have to, you know, sometimes you have to look a
got
guy in
every
the
read.
eyes and ask yourself, does he have it?
I don't like it. With an ace, I would call. With king queen, I don't like it.
All right, Louis.
Crazy
Maybe
and,
not that word.
with an ace. And that's-
I had
that's-
that happen in a live cash game where I just check called 3 streets with third pair because I had decided in live cash games I pre-qualify people and I just had this guy. He was bullying the entire table, and he actually he was betting a draw, and then he bet the river, and he was just for 30 minutes he just looked at me like I was crazy.
I
He's
love
like,
it.
why did
I
you
love
do
it.
that? He was so frustrated.
Yeah, because no one does it against him almost.
And of course, I didn't say, well, because you're so aggressive. I said,
Old spades and
I don't know.
clubs.
I thought it was good.
So here,
that-
like,
that's-
Who said I know how to play poker?
Someone is bullying.
Next time I play live.
I mean,
it's
they're all
three
losing
bets.
money. Kings,
it's
the king's not
calling, but
making
it's
money calling.
losing. Exactly, it's losing
Next
money.
time somebody bets me in a live cash, I'm gonna start going, what's my minimum defense frequency? I'm gonna start
Yeah,
saying
that's-
stuff like that. What's my bluff to value ratio?
Don't do that in a cash game, Juan. You'll lose your
But still, you
shit.
have to do that.
I'm
Make
just-
good decisions.
And then
People don't
Louis,
bluff
if
in
you
a
go
cash
back to
game.
the flop,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wonder
you're
if he's,
right.
I wonder if he's calling this range that, that Pio has here, like, he doesn't have 9-6 suited. The fact that he has 9-7 off makes me think that he has a bunch more suited crap.
We don't know.
No, this is on the river though. Those hands go
I
away
know,
on
I'm just,
the
I'm
flop.
wondering about the ranges we start
We
with.
don't know what he has. He can even
The
call.
thing
behind.
is that he has very little calls there.
He can be crazy.
Mostly
if-
continues by raising on the flop.
Hmm.
So
I
like,
have one-
this is why the range on the river is skewed, because we only have 80 combos, 10% of range.
Yeah.
I have one more thing though on the flop, but the flop has a flush draw.
If we want to have the perfect example,
Maybe
I
have
can-
Jack 9 or Jack 7. But still, that's different, because then you miss some good shots.
Some straight draws, exactly. Yep.
And straight draws indeed with 10-9.
Right. Well, this one was funny because I know he tagged me. I'm just like certain that he tagged me, and I'm okay with that.
what was it? It was
If you have
Jack,
button, then
Jack of
then
spade.
it's no discussion.
Can you give me the exact shot?
Well, with a flush draw, pair either Jack with the 8. and
Put it
you'll
in the
have it.
bracket stuff.
In this case, it was Jack 8 of diamonds, Jack of clubs. I guess it solves fast because it's a tiny tree.
Self-fulfilling prophecy, that's what I say.
I mean, I like, sometimes you gotta make reads. I
You
folded
say,
kings.
I know what he has, I know what he does. So what's the problem then? It's just a good play then.
I mean, I think it's getting borderline, but it's
It's
an
not
interesting
close
spot.
even.
And
Not close even then. You have to call.
Oh
Right.
my God, do it,
Yeah, I mean,
please.
there's no discussion possible. No, you say, I know what he has, I know what he does, and he does this, so I call king queen. Yeah, good play.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, this guy, what is he thinking?
But it's still worth noting that king queen was losing money even though it calls.
Oh, he's calling wider. He's playing it wider.
Dude, these guys are just handing me this tournament.
Timothy even said he doesn't do it with an ace. So
Where do you live,
there you
Galen?
go, guys.
Yeah, I'm in Florida, man.
It's positive,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure.
Hey, just curious, Tim. You're TD freeze, right?
yeah.
Would you mind if we share your graph on Sharscope?
Yeah, you can share my graph.
I think it looks pretty good. I'm not sure. Don't want to look you up.
I mean, kind of. It looks good, but it's been a brutal year. I had technical problems on final tables of 2 tournaments this year. And then ended up timing out in both of them. It was horrible.
Oh my God, that's painful.
Yeah. So like some run bad and then some technical problems.
How-
We had
yeah.
S.
My graph
Yeah,
is.
we-
Oh, wait, no, sorry,
On how many shots I take, and the more shots I
sorry.
take, the worse it gets.
Sorry, Louis, it's all in chat is the one I play under.
all in?
All in.
All in
CH,
chat. I like it.
AV. Yep. Thanks.
Yeah, we battle in the streets quite a bit.
Alright, so you were up $20,000
At my peak in March of this year.
Yeah, a little swing,
Woo.
but you know, nothing,
Yeah, yeah.
that's very, very normal, but still a very clean graph, my friend. Some big scores in here, 11K,
Big score, so that's also.
2K,
Yeah,
so
look up.
3,000 gains. Good volume, good profit, good everything. Good.
Can you look up a dirty graph, Agent 76, and we can compare?
No, I'm
I was
just,
gonna have you look up.
I'm just putting it here so we know. who
So
you're
Tim, have I
talking with,
played you on
you know?
ACR?
Just so we're clear, Tim beats the
Yeah, if
game
you-
I'm
online.
gonna
If you
find out.
if you played me, it's all in chat. This is my one. Louis, look me up on my bet
I'll
online.
look you
That's
up.
the other one. I have big volume.
I have no idea how to tag people in the comments. I was wondering. what to do.
Let's see. Let's see if you're in my database.
All in chat?
Louis, look me up. No, it's on bet online. It's different. On bet online, it's I think it's TD Freeze.
Oh, I know. I looked.
Oh, you're in my database.
Morning.
We've played.
Wait, what's your screen name?
I
What's
got
your screen
15,
name?
15, we've played 15 hands.
Oh, okay, that's not so much. TD Free on Chico.
I'm kept.
Thread.
How would you not recognize it?
Louis,
does
at the
it-
top there, Chico. Chico.
Oh, Chico.
Chico,
Yep, that's bet on. No, you had that screen name, but the site is Chico. You had it
Oh,
right
we
there.
played a satellite.
Oh, did we?
It was an 840. Oh, well, it's probably the wrong price because
It's TD Freeze, but then
we
Chico.
just played last week. Or wait, I didn't play any satellites, but this says the 5th.
The second one.
Yeah, the second one there, Louis.
There you go.
Oh,
Oh, you had a little
Very
stack.
nice.
Is this the final table?
Another 10K here.
This is where I used to grind sit and goes.
So when Tim says something, we might as well listen to him because he beats the games. Over
Well-
7,000 games.
Dude, wait until my next ACR score. I've like been really struggling with the run bad.
I know, it's coming.
Let me share the
Dude,
screen.
like every time, like busting tournaments in like 15th place. Like it's
Keep up the good work,
it's
man.
not how you make money. It's not how you make money in this game.
Let's see if we played any hands. I gotta run through this real quick.
Louis, I sent you that hand history thing.
I don't know what tournament this is. Probably it's an 8 max, probably just a $10. Unfortunately, you don't have any chips.
Mm.
There were 1, 2, 3, 5 handed. It looks like I'm chip leader. I think I wonder if we cashed in this maybe. Yeah, I'm chip leader.
Not the good
Dude,
foul, Yaman.
I literally have twice as many chips in big blinds than second place does in this tournament.
Holy
Not the
shit.
good foul.
And I've got, I think, the closest
place.
bounty, I've got 4x. I've got 4x the closest bounty.
Yeah, you wrecked it, man. That was yesterday on my stream. That was pretty sweet.
Now you're
No,
on
I'm
my
talking about
left.
right now. This is what's happening. Yeah,
Oh.
that tournament.
You're
This
doing
is
it
what's
again.
happening. Yeah, this is what's happening right now.
Yeah.
We
Oh, Louis,
played a
I
few
might ask you to
tournaments.
run something through Pio in a second here. I had a weird one the other day.
Anything, man. Anything you need.
All right,
I'm
I'll put
here
it.
for it.
I'll put it in the chat. This was again a guy who was super over aggro, like I think north of 35% flop check raise.
that's
I
great.
think the flop was Jack 6 deuce with a flush draw. Hero has ace 10 with ace of flush draw.
Okay, well, first off, what is the stack depth and
Let's call it, for the purposes of this conversation, let's call it 25 bigs effective.
Okay.
Let's call it, sorry, I don't have the hand in front of me. Let's call it low jack versus big blind.
all right. And then what kind
I
of
think
flop?
that's enough to get us going, right?
And the flop?
Jack 6 deuce with a flush draw. Perfect.
What was the pre-flop action?
Single raise from the low jack. And are the
Okay.
stack depths right?
And you are big blind?
No, I'm
30
low
big
jack.
blind, low jack versus big blind.
And I'm low jack with ace 10 off in this case.
You should,
Alright, so I bet small. he raises big with, so it's like maybe 91 or maybe 149. Let's call it 149 since
That's like
that size
5.
gets.
We're not calling what they stand here.
What if we turn ace
tagged
10 off into a
now.
bluff?
Hang on.
Figure that he's never
Let's try to give
calling
you
the
a
3-bet.
chance. Let's try to raise 91. I see, there's a silver. So if he raised
we're
3x,
never-
it's okay.
But we're never 3-bet jamming it. So we're 3-bet jamming with like what, king 8 suited, king 7 suited with some of our flush draws.
Do you have a?
Yeah.
Do you have a heart?
Yeah, I have the ace.
So talk through your jamming thought, because I don't get it.
I thought this guy is 2-betting a bunch of junk and I can clear up a bunch of equity. I think he has like 40% equity against me with a lot of his stuff. I think I'm ahead. But I think he folds everything. Like I think he just like folds so much to aggression here. Because I think he thinks the range is generally jack plus when I 3-bet. Or like, yeah, or flush draws, I guess. So I think he puts me on like jack plus, and I think he gets out of the way with like a bunch of like 7-5 with 1 heart kind of crap. You know, or whatever he shows up here with. And I'm certain that he has too many check raises, and I'm like, how do I shut him down? What ended up happening is that he calls me with queen 5.
Hearts.
And hearts, and we run pure, which is was pretty psycho.
All
This is,
right.
I would call those bad lessons. You can do that.
This is-
Go ahead.
No, this
We're
is
gonna
some,
do that
this
more
is some,
often.
this is some street poker shit. No, this is like so out of line.
Well, if you look at the call here, it's folding, but if you look at the EV for call, it's returning some chips. It's weird.
What's
Has
weird
some
is I don't
calling frequency, we just don't see it. It's really small. Tim is in here. Oh,
I found that sliver.
actually, if you look at this, look at the ace
The
of
ace of
hearts.
hearts.
It is
I
raising.
found the sliver. I
There's
found the
like
sliver.
1% here. You're not totally
It's like a-
crazy. Just
It's like a
mostly
solid
crazy.
6%, I think. I think it's like a solid 5%.
It's probably closer to 5 than 6.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's the thing. I'm not sure if queen 5 wants to call the jam or not. And that kind of made me like rethink my thought process, because maybe if he's raising hands with that much equity, that they just call off. And then I'm not denying him equity. We're then just both getting all of our equity, you know, and like we got it in like 50-50. So
Yeah. Yeah, he's calling it off with queen 5, but his equity is not good. Like queen 5 of hearts is in red, so.
yeah, but that's against what should be my jamming range, which is yeah.
Yeah, which is nothing. All right, anybody has more hands? Galen, you sent me the wrong file. I can't do much with this.
Dear God.
Yeah, I think you sent him the summary, not the hands.
50K,
hold on.
man. Galen almost took it down yesterday.
Jesus.
He was
Jesus.
like so close, but he just
That
ran
was a
really,
good sweat
really
last night.
slow. The last 3 or 4, last 4, I think the stacks were almost even. But at this, from the last 4, which he got kind of lucky to get there with, honestly, because
My notes on Galen are he's a nit at the final table until they're down to 4, and then he's a maniac.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
probably not a bad strategy.
he got spicy with a couple of
It's
king
not
jack
actually true,
suit, a
but
couple of king jack offsuit. He got excited with king jack offsuit a couple of times, and every time me and Vince, we were like holding our breath, holding our breath, holding our breath, but the last one didn't get through.
So let's download, not this, that's the wrong thing. We're gonna download this. I'm about to send it to you, Louis. So
Okay, I'm
much
back.
shit going on. Go here, go here. Try this.
Hmm. Nice.
Did we actually play 3 tournaments at the same table? But it's weird that we only have 15 hands in 3 tournaments.
We
You
probably
must
just
have
got moved, like you got
Yeah.
table changed, I got table changed, yeah.
Yep, they
And
do.
you're-
ACR, I'll go through that with those shuffled tables, like sometimes I'll get moved like 4 times in an orbit. And then I'll be good for a while.
Yeah, that happens to me too.
It's weird. It's annoying sometimes. You know, sometimes I end up with a big blind twice in a row. But then other times I avoid it. So I guess it
I
evens
I
out.
hate when you'll lose a big pot to a guy that has a huge stack and then they move him right away.
I don't
Like
care.
shit. You want to get that shit back.
Button big blind, Gavin.
I was on the button.
No, but I mean, that's where it
Oh,
leads
am I
you.
getting- Am I getting
23
wrecked?
and
here?
EV, not so bad. Not so bad.
Wow, 23 per 100, that's,
Alright, so tournament, I want all the hands.
That was for that tournament last night?
Yeah, that was for that
Yeah.
specific. tournament.
So you got lucky,
don't
but you did play
normally-
really well as well, to be fair.
Sure, he always does.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's this one, right?
Yeah, this hand. Just wanna know what we do with this hand.
Yeah, you need to do a live play and explain for us.
We're like an HRC.
He does it for me every night.
Does he?
I take notes. I have notes.
Oh, well, what about all of us? What about the
Alright.
other?
Well, you were
Posted.
around last night, I think.
Yeah, the Zoom was posted, right?
We need to do a
Yeah.
PayPal, play explain. Here is thoughts, his thought process.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
don't
got there
mind.
late last night, Juan. You were in there.
Yeah, I didn't know. I have to check, like, yeah, I didn't. Until I seen
No,
that.
no, we need to get all in Chav on the play and explain so I can learn some things.
If LP's on Twitch, he's probably zooming with he's probably zooming with people.
This is a
Basically.
rip, right?
See, that's what
Kings
I
of
did.
pairs.
Is FGS a thing 3-handed?
I think.
I
yeah.
think, I thought it kind of, I thought you went to like straight ICM 3-handed.
I mean, the ICM's getting less powerful there. Once you're down to that few people, the effects are starting to back off compared to when you're like 5, 6, 7 people.
So this would be the jamming range.
Yeah. As I
And-
say, king 10 is also
Can you change the payouts, Louis?
queen 10.
And also look
Wait,
at
so-
it straight ICMs. It's gonna be a little bit of a different result.
And we jammed what from the button? We jammed.
King jack off.
King jack off, easy jam.
King's fine.
I actually think,
Easy
you're-
jam.
actually think it'll be better if you just look at ICM.
We were worth, I think, like $430.
Yep. Yeah, Vince is right. I was worth.
The small blind was
430.
200,
Yep.
and the
And then
big
the other
blind,
guy-
I think, was like 530.
I think it was 300. I still had a larger.
330?
blind.
No, that
Yeah.
one guy, one person had the most. There was
did
one
he? Okay.
person there with more than you, because they got a couple knockouts at the final table.
I definitely could be wrong. 100%.
I think this is just a slam dunk.
That
Yeah.
Max guy had the most, right?
He had the most chips. I didn't remember the bounty. I might have missed one of the bounties he got though. So I'll just walk you through my thought process with this, right? So it's like, there's 2 of us with 10 big blinds, and then there's 1 of us with 40 big blinds. So we're basically like kind of ICM strapped, fighting for second place here. So I feel like it's gonna push our range to the extremes. We're gonna be folding and jamming basically everything from 10 big blinds. And I expect the big blind to be calling very wide, possibly like up to, I don't know, 50% of his range or something crazy like that. And the small blind should be folding a lot versus this. Knowing that.
So if I give it the option of open jamming,
Mm,
you know, that min raising or open jamming, it's
Mhm.
only min raising with kings and queens. It's always open
Right.
jamming with king jack and it's profitable. But it's
Got it.
bottom of the range.
Run the same setup straight ICM, because I think it's gonna be a bit better in ICM. for him.
The other question I do kind of have about it is, can you just make adjustments? Like convert the bounties into chips to see if that changes the dynamics at all? Of what I should be
Have you
doing?
read Darrow Kearney's and Carter's book?
I have not.
You should pick it up. There's a good book on what's it called, PKOs. They are probably having a bit more. I mean, like if you had a super close decision, the fact that you cover small blind makes me want to get in there just a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
Because like
yeah,
when
I
he
would
calls
agree with
you with a flip, like that's better for you. You know, you stand to win a couple $100 or whatever. So
that. Mhm.
if the stacks were reversed, you would want to back off just a hair.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me.
So, basically, looking at ICM spots, a good player said that you want to have like somewhere around 10% of the profitability of pocket aces to make a play. So here we do not have 10% of aces.
Don't have it. It got worse.
That's an interesting perspective, 10% of aces.
Yeah, 10% of aces is a great guide, whether like you're making a break-even play or a good play. 10% of aces is always good enough.
We'd
I
have to
never
have
heard
point 10, little over point or point
0.11 here.
11. Okay.
Yeah, almost 0.12 actually. It's, if you rounded it up, it's 0.12.
Yeah, so it makes sense here. It would leave out that king jack.
So what do we do with that then? Are we folding that portion of the range then?
Yeah, yeah.
King jack suited just makes it.
I would prefer min raising or folding. I don't like the jam just because like if we min raise, small blind goes all in. The big blind's just gonna call anything, so we just
Yeah.
fold.
Yeah,
True. I just
that's
don't know.
another
if,
thing, but it's not a big factor here because I tried to give it the option to min raise, open, blah, 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 and everything. And it's basically only picking 1 or 2 half a percent of range. It's like 3% here. So exactly, it's picking king jack off as a min raise here for this.
Yeah,
match.
but if you notice, it's min raising like aces and kings, which is a trap, and then it's min raising the hands that are at the bottom of that like
But it'll call off.
1 point or 0.12 range, 0.11 range.
There's no raise
Right,
fold, right?
They should be raise folds. Like king jack is a raise fold there to balance out the aces, a raise
Oh,
call,
yeah.
right?
Yep, 100%. I think if you're raising, this hand not all in, this is probably gonna be a slam dunk raise fold.
Yeah.
So. My prediction about this spot is that the ICM pressure is actually a bit less than if it was like a regular 3-person non-PKO tournament. Because there's so much money for first here. That I feel like that pushes us a little bit closer towards chip EV.
Dude,
Yeah.
I played a
Well,
3 max.
typically-
I played a 3 max PKO the other night. That was fun.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Off topic, but yeah, since you've
I
mentioned.
would, I would assume chip EV, this is not even really a discussion. I was just kind of curious if the ICM implication pushed us to tighten up our range or to open up, a little bit. given
Tighten
the
up
situation.
here. Tighten up here because I think if we look at chip EV, this is always a push.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
When our
100%.
ICM, it's not making a ton of money.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty close.
I
Can
think
you look
chip
at the
EV,
big
you're
blind
pushing
calling
like king
range?
9 off.
You were second in chips, right?
Yeah, we were tied. I mean, it's,
I was right there close.
yeah, it was fractional differences between me and small blind. If we expand his calling range to like super wide, let's like literally 50% of hands, how does it tailor our response?
That's a great question. I bet it tanks you.
Hmm,
I bet you're pushing like 6% there, 5%.
yeah, see, I mean, that's kind of the extreme, right? Like literally make him ridiculous, make it like 50 just to drive home the point. Or even, yeah, something crazy like that.
That's
It
such a
doesn't even
disaster
matter.
for you.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter the combos. I bet it really tightens us up.
Well, and of course, we don't know how this guy's playing, but there are people who call off crazy wide like that in PKOs because they're like, hey, I could win a bounty.
Well, that
Well, yeah.
milkman guy or whatever was kind of wild, I thought.
He was wild. Yeah, Milfme was wild. And that's
We
the
go
response right
from,
there.
yeah, we go from 22% to 8%.
Yeah, super tightens up.
And this range looks very similar to the 10% of aces we looked at.
Yeah, that's actually a good point as well. It does look kind of similar to that, doesn't it?
King jack
We look
suited
at
was in
the
the other
calling
one.
range.
So king jack suited, king queen suited was in there. Before in the 10% realm.
Okay, so as the calling range gets wider, we have to tighten up based on this dynamic.
Yeah, but look at this big blind. He can call you with like almost anything. Just because of the bounty and the pay jump.
He's
Yeah.
losing money.
Yeah,
with
but it
these
doesn't
calls.
matter.
He's getting like, you know, second or third place pay jump for knocking me out.
Well, this,
So
that factors in the bounty, right?
yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely does. His
Yeah,
decision
yeah,
making.
for sure.
So I mean, if he's losing money, he's losing money. The bounty doesn't make up any difference there, right?
The
It's factored in.
bounty do a big difference here. Because it's like he can call wider because of the bounties.
Right.
He can also call wider because he's so far ahead.
Yeah.
In the
Oh, I see
stack.
what you're saying.
Alright, anybody has more hands to look at?
Thank you, Louis.
Anytime, man. Any hands you want to look at?
Let's do some
Th-
training.
This is a place to bring them to,
Can I ask a question about one of my hands over the weekend?
for sure.
So I was playing WSOP circuit event at the bike on Sunday, and I got in the money. So 65 people got paid, and there's 40 people left.
Okay.
And under the gun +1 raised like almost 4x. And I had pocket nines on low jack. Like, would you just flat there or?
Always
Should
just flatting, always just flatting. And the rule of thumb, if you want to just have a quick guide, whenever you're against early position, if you have nines and less, you're likely to just flat. So just because he's
Yeah.
early position, that's good enough to like, because when he opens early position like this, I'm never rumbling with nines or less. I'm always just flat.
Yeah, I had
Good
20.
text.
I had 20 big blinds, and so I pushed, and I regretted it as soon as I did.
I probably would have did the same. I probably would have did the same thing.
What position were you?
I was in low jack.
Cause they're not usually opening like aces, kings with that, you know, so I think you can take some of the top of the range out when they're 4xing.
I think
Unless that's
problem
what
is
they're,
if it's
unless that's what
jacks
they're
every
always
time.
doing.
That's the problem is if it's jacks literally every single time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think you could fold just pre-flop because you have a small pair. Small pair do really poorly at ICM.
What was the position of the opener and what was your position?
Under the gun versus low jack.
Under the gun +1, and then I was low jack with 20 big blinds. Most of the table had either like 10 to 30 big blinds.
Yeah, I would just fold.
Uh,
And those are weird spots in
It's a
tournaments where
mix.
Yeah,
It's
I
a mix
mean,
of
we're
the
supposed to
tables.
jam nines, eights, half, nines most of the time, tens, jacks.
All the
king jack
time.
suited, king jack suited,
Yeah.
king, queen suited, ace, king, ace, queen.
Did you notice that this player was usually opening big, or is this like
He was a new player. He got moved to my table, and so I didn't know how he played, but he covered me.
Okay, so exploitatively, people are a little stupid because when they perceive they have a strong hand, they raise bigger sometimes.
Mhm.
Like it's never a bluff. It's just like that. It's never gonna be a bluff.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, and some people like to raise big with hands they really like, but they don't mind just taking it all down pre-flop. And they don't care if they get called, so they raise big. Some people just raise because they're, yeah, for a lot of different reasons. They don't know what they're doing. Some, like LP says, it's their strongest hands.
Me personally, I would always fold because you have a lot of players left to act that you need to worry about. Your
Mhm.
hand will do poorly in an ICM scenario.
Mhm.
If it's ever a hand you're rumbling with, if you think about your range, it's always gonna be the bottom of your range. So rumbling on ICM spots with the bottom of my range, it's not.
I
Not
played
optimal.
against some super laggy players that'll raise like all their really bad crap big, and then when they have something good, they raise smaller because they want everyone in the pot. It's just crazy.
Yep.
Hey,
I,
Louis, can I ask you a question about, you're talking about ICM here as it relates to the nines, I think. And I mean, once you're in the money and you're 40 away from the end, I mean, isn't it really flat? Doesn't it really matter a lot?
No, it matters a lot because you want to move up. You want the pay jump. This is where you make your money.
No, but what I'm saying is you're kind of like right after the bubble burst, the pay jumps are really flat for a really long time.
yeah, definitely. That's a lower ICM spot than many spots, for sure.
It's
That's one of the
lower
lowest.
ICM, but for me, it's still a high ICM spot. It's lower for sure than at the bubble, because at the bubbles, the max is you won't get any higher than at the bubble. But you do want, like, when you're in the money, are like, you gotta think about, like, your goal is to make money, no? You have
Goal's to
to
win.
No, I know, I get that. I just find that, oh, and this is, I'm asking because I'm curious. Once the bubble burst for a period of time afterwards, it's almost like it's less consequential. And so the risk of playing too passive to me exceeds the risk of the ICM, if you will, because it's such a flat ICM. It's
Oh,
such a small.
I highly disagree with your perception.
Okay,
I
well,
think-
that's what I'm asking.
Say it the other way around to me.
Yeah, I really think that ICM plays a huge part, because if you run broke, you're done. It's over.
And also a lot of players are opening up just as you do,
Yeah.
that spot. So
Yeah.
you can be
Well,
passive.
I guess when I
call
say
them off.
opening up, I'm talking about, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm talking about like when it's a mix, I wouldn't just automatically.
I don't like
Default.
passing on that spot too much, because I mean, if I got 40 big blinds, I feel like I got a really, really good chance of winning. If I got 20 big blinds, I'm hoping I don't go card dead, you know, it's like.
So
Uh,
folding
you can
is
go with
best.
flat CV spots, but
I
not.
I would have folded, honestly, because it's the bottom of your range and you have ICM concerns.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like,
And for me, it's the 4 big blind open, you know, like if this was a guy you knew had some kind of balanced ranges, there's something to be said for jamming here.
yeah,
Against
And
this
you have-
guy, like, oof, I just don't
Right.
see it. Yeah.
So
But-
Timothy, what would you do to a more normal, like a 2.2 folder?
Think about it. If I think he's like normally, you know, like as loose as he should be, which most people aren't from early position. Most people are still too tight. Like,
You know, it's
like I've
funny.
had people argue with me about opening queen 10 suited, jack 10 suited from early position in a tournament with an ante. I'm like, those are slam dunk opens, but people
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
You know, it's interesting that you said you don't want, like, I actually, when people raise larger, like if they're short stacked and they're opening 3x or whatever, I like to raise all in over them more because there's more chips in the pot already.
I like that answer.
I mean, that's how
Yeah,
I
I
look at it.
I
Like, if this
agree with
guy,
the
like, if this
answer.
guy's got 20 big blinds, he opens 4x, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? Boom.
I don't-
Let's rumble,
I don't
man.
think-
There's a lot of
I
chips
don't
in the
think-
pot.
Yeah, I don't think you could just assume because they're opening 4x, it's always jacks. I mean, I've seen so much like baloney crap, like open with 3s, 4s, like ace 4 off. Like, I think we should just
Are you
Play-
playing on international networks?
Yeah, I think we should just play what what I don't
Yeah,
think even the chart will
HCR's
say it's a
all over
fold.
the
I
world.
don't think even the chart will say it's a fold. First of all, I think if you plug it into like ICM Miser, it will tell you to jam at 20x, even against a early position open. I think we should, and the fact that he's opening 4x, if he has any open and fold, the fact that he made it 4x, it makes your jam more profitable.
Yeah, it sweetens the pot, man. That's how I
Okay,
look at it.
okay,
I mean,
so
definitely the pot odds are amazing, but it's like, it all depends on the character. Like I had a guy I used to play live with and I knew he would do this with junk. So like against him, I'm happy to raise.
Yeah,
Against
But
an
are you gonna
unknown,
be, are you gonna,
like,
in this matrix you're constructing in your head, Sam?
I'm not gonna lie. I've run into people
is
with
it
4x
the
aces and I'm like,
bottom of
what
the
the hell are they
range or the
doing?
top of the range?
yeah, against an unknown, I'm assuming top of range, or I'm assuming like jacks, queens.
No,
ace
but
king.
Let's do
That's
that.
pretty much what I assume.
Our pocket nine, where does it stand in our range? Is it the top or the bottom?
I'm not
No.
assuming anything. If it's just after the money and we're like long way right from the final table, unless it's like the final 2-3 tables,
Is it the top of
not
your
do it.
range or the bottom of your range?
It's closer to bottom, Louis Philippe. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Surely
It's
is
It's the
the bottom
bottom.
of
It's
the range.
definitely the bottom.
So if you want to rumble with the bottom of your range on ICM scenarios, well, it's up to you, but your like caution is advised. Simple as that.
But
So,
the-
so
But
what I
is
larger
it a
raise
final
sweetens the
table
pot.
bubble? Are we talking about? Are we on the final table? Are
No,
we...
no, not at all. It's
No.
we're just in the money, just in the money.
So if we're
yeah,
just in the money,
that's the real.
so when is the ICM
There's
bubble
40
the
people,
most, the
there's 40
highest,
people
right?
left.
It's at the money bubble. It's the highest.
It's at the money bubbles is the highest, and then it goes down, and then once you get
And then it
closer
goes
to the
back up.
final
Second
table,
highest is final table bubble. Yep.
yeah.
Oh.
So the fact that we're in the money or just in the money, that means we should play more towards chip EV. I absolutely, I'm sorry, LP, but I
not
don't
at
agree.
all,
I
not
don't
at all.
agree with what you said.
You should lean towards an ICM model because you're in the money and you want a ladder or payout implication.
That's not what I heard from even Matt.
But that's,
Yeah, I mean,
you know, that's your perception.
Yeah,
I'm
I feel
mean-
like
my
I've
perception.
heard a lot of coaches say, you know, yeah, you want to go for it, man. Like, you know, if you have an opportunity, a chance to get it, like significantly increase your stack there, I think it's
Yeah.
not, I don't think it's an
Yeah,
awful.
I know
mean,
that you
even-
guys are all very enthusiastic and very aggressive and everything. And 2 years ago, I would always rumble with the bottom of my range on any ICM spots. But with a bit of experience now, you know, when you see guys like Gallon that get, you know, what, final tables a week, he wins thousands every week. And he makes exploits that are, he doesn't run the bottom of his range on spots like this, you know? So I think we need to lean towards like, you know, the biggest winners in our games. And they all do that weird shit. They all fold too much on these kind of spots where it's close, they fold too much. So
Yeah, I mean,
here,
so I
I
would
think
say-
against under the.
I mean,
gun,
nines aren't really
it's close,
the
it's-
bottom. I
It's
mean,
not.
they're better than king, queen,
Exactly.
they're better than king, jack, they're better than king 10, they're better than ace 10, ace jack, ace queen. They're all slivers. Like some of them are full frequency jams. Queen jack suited is full, king jack suited, queen jack, king queen suited, all full. Nines are ahead of that. King 10 is mixing, ace 10's mixing. Nines are ahead of that. Eights are in there at 50%. Nines are ahead of that. Like nines aren't our worst hand.
I agree with that. I mean, I think Louis, you're making a point, which I think makes sense, but I'm not so sure this is the bottom of the range. I think the most compelling thing I'm hearing so far is this pre-flop, the pre-flop open. This is live, Sonny. This is a live game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes, it's a
live,
live
I do think, and I don't know, I don't have a lot of experience here, but my little experience is that these bigger under the gun and early position raises tend to lean.
So this is
towards
live
strength and
poker?
population.
Hold on. My
Yeah.
experience
Live
live is that's a standard open size for a lot of players.
Yeah, it was
That's a
actually
standard
live.
open for a lot of
Well,
players.
I thought it
Three,
was
3.5,
online.
4.
Online, I'm not gonna be folding, but live, like people are really nitty or they're really crazy. Either like one end or the other.
Well, the crazy part is there was a guy behind me with about 12 big blinds. He called, so I pushed, I jammed, and he called with ace jack. And
All right, let's go. Let's go.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. He's calling under the gun 4X open and
Depends how,
rejam, and he's just gonna get in there with ace jack. So,
Was he
and
deep?
by
Was
the
he
way,
good?
in LA, they're not nitty.
Depends on the stack size.
Yeah, was he deep?
oh, the guy behind me,
Yeah.
he had like 12 big blinds, so he was shorter than me.
And that's
Dude,
what
that's
you
such
said.
a
He was
punt.
shorter indeed. So.
That's
And
such a
then the
punt from
under
the
the-
cold caller.
That's a punt. That's not good.
That's
Yeah.
definitely a punt, no doubt.
Well, he ended up winning.
With that under the
for
gun
him.
hat.
That's usually how it happens. That's usually how it
Under the gun,
Did you-
actually, under the gun +1 had pocket queens, so I should have.
Did you yell at
He
him
had
brave and
kings.
tell him how bad he was?
Yeah, that was bad.
Wow.
Yeah, so I like folding here.
Yeah.
I know like it's.
like folding better now.
Intuitive and like not long ago, I would have always rumbled, but nowadays I try to stay
So-
away a little bit and use caution when these kind
Louis,
of.
what's the bottom of your continuing range then in this situation?
I would continue with nines, I would call.
4X, you're gonna call off a 20, you're just
I
gonna
thought you
flat,
were
you're not getting the
falling.
odds.
Well, yeah,
Oof, on 20?
I would
Oof,
call
I
or
do not want
fold.
to flat on 20.
I'm never
know.
calling 4.
I
I'm
know.
folding or
I have,
jamming or folding.
My primary option was to fold against 4X. I always fold. If it's 2X open, I'm just calling. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
2X
I
open
just
is
have
fine.
a
It's
okay.
simplification in my game that whenever an early position opens and I have pocket 9 or less, I do not jam. Because
No,
if you look at
that's good, that's
GTO,
good.
it's very often the case. And you wanna, it makes sense because you wanna be cautious against early position raisers. So that's just where I stand.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting a good
Only
price at
if
2
it's
for
easy.
2X. You
Well, I
got it.
mean, if you believe the 4X range is pretty tight and you ran that, you're probably right. That's probably
Yeah. For sure.
if you
Yeah,
if you
unless I know that he's opening 4X with these range. Yeah. I'm
I
gonna
mean,
assume
clearly he
otherwise.
wanted everyone to fold. He's got
But in
kings,
live
he's happy
poker,
to
I'm
take
not.
the
I'm
pot
not.
down.
Yeah. Live
So
poker.
Louis,
I'm
is there
not
a
sure.
King, some players
what's
do
the bottom of your jamming
jacks,
range,
I mean-
Louis? What's the bottom of your jamming range then?
I think it's tens.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy.
that makes sense.
I mean, tens is nice. You can still hit like a Broadway too, with tens at least. If there's a bunch of high cards on the flop and they out pair you, you can still suck out with a miracle straight sometimes.
Yeah, with tens, you're really in trouble. Nines, you can still fold.
See how many boards are 10 high and better.
Yeah, I mean, not many.
All right, guys,
it's
I'm gonna
it's
take
a
a
lot,
break
I guess.
before we before Matt Affleck. So I'll see you
Hey,
guys.
take care, Juan.
All right.
Oh,
Hey,
he has a
Louis,
webinar today.
Louis, can you post in the message for me?
Yeah.
I appreciate it. All right,
Sure.
we'll see you guys in there in a bit.
See you, man. All right. So I think we have time for one more hand. What do we have in here today? Got Chris. What's up, Chris? Josh. We got Sam. We got Josh. We got
Morning,
Kep.
Louis.
We got Vince. Vince is quiet. That's good. Give us a break. BP, what's up, my friend BP? Mr. Chestel, what's up, bro? Mr. Gatia. Gatia is from Hungary, I think. Mr. George Farakis, the net. Oh, we got Jay. What's up, Jay? Jay from UK. We got both Roxanne and Sunny. What's up, ladies? Yeah. So this is the overall under the gun bet frequency across all textures for this sample. So a lot of range betting on 10 eye boards or higher. always small. And if it gets 9 or lower, we check 40% of the time and we start to size up. So a couple of clean patterns here. Also what I found real quick, small blind leads. He bets on 5 high boards. That's really
So,
weird.
it's so counter unintuitive to me.
Well, it's just that everybody misses.
So
And
it's, he's gonna bet the most on straight boards. The small blind like betting frequency is the highest on 5 high straight boards. But it's really like 8 high boards or less. So we actually like this is funny. So 8 high straight board, we can actually lead from a small blind.
They probably have the suited combos.
You got my interest.
Yeah, I know. So small blind leading here, 8 high, and it's really, I looked across all the other textures. So this is the overview. And if we look at pair boards, always pure check, monotone, pure check, dry board, pure check. So the leading frequency here is really around straight boards for the small blind. It could be a thing on 9 high straight board if you want to extend it a little bit. This is probably done like it's 10% of the time. So it's probably done with equity. So upper dangler. So probably a 9, a
Seven's the best.
7. Yeah, exactly.
Similar to the big blind, but 7 high straight board though.
Yeah, but what's surprising
Hey.
here is that 8 high straight boards is actually
Yeah.
a thing here. So it's the first time that I found
20%.
it. Yeah, 20%. It's not, you have some leads.
Against under the gun, under the gun doesn't have eights almost.
Yeah, so it's pretty
So,
cool.
So how
Yeah.
do we connect with the 5 high straight board? So we got 7-6 suited, I guess, right?
Probably.
40 bigs, yeah, I guess we do.
It's the suited hands that connect with it. That's,
6 5's our worst. 5-4.
5-4. So 2 pair and straight draws you have there.
Then what does it look like in terms of like he has no 5s at all. And very little under the 5, basically. Nothing under the 5. So that's what we see here. Whenever it comes 5 high or less, well, 4 high straight board, that's like 2, 3, 4. But it's really here that it happens.
Yeah, so 2, 3, 4 is, I guess, because he has the wheel.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, once you call small
You have 2
blind,
pair on a 2,
the
3,
big
4.
blind almost always calls.
Yeah, it's annoying, right?
I'm not very good at playing the small blind like versus under gun open. Like I don't even call.
Me neither.
those.
Me neither. That's why I wanted to train for this spot, but we'll do it next time. No problem.
Yeah.
Although one of my leagues needs playing up from small blind.
Yeah, I have a trouble playing from the small blind as well because the more we play with pre-flop ninja, the more we, find a good grip on what we should be calling from the small blind, but I just punt really hard with that part of my range. It's like queen 9 suited. What am I supposed to do with that?
I mean, like
Oh,
my win rate is okay. It's
Oh,
only
you
like
also have to
negative
overcall
13 by
Minus
playing like
13?
minus 13, like playing uber tight.
Yeah,
oh,
not
you guys
bad.
are starting to play tight like me, huh?
No, I've always been tight on,
Oh,
on
okay.
playing the small blind because I
I
play
mean, dude,
cash, like,
minus 13 is amazing.
What am I?
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I'll look
only
at my
minus
ACR
13,
since
yeah.
it's much harder than poker.
Because
stuff.
if you don't play anything, it's minus 50, right?
This
Yeah,
year.
exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, well, it's actually minus 15, so it's still good.
I'm -3 and +4, almost +15 in the big blind, -3 in the small blind. That's on ACR.
Thanks
Yeah, and
about
I'm not calling with those.
Only 20,000 hands though. Poker stars. Yeah, I'm pretty nitty in blinds.
Oh, Josh.
I'm -3 in the small blind on Poker Stars too, so I'm very consistent in small blind, same exact number, -306.
I am -16 from the small blind.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Except I'm upside down in the big blind, I'm -14 instead of +14.
All the nits are doing well from the small blind.
Yeah, it's always.
I mean, I check raise a lot, to be honest, like I think that's your most powerful tool is raising, and not just playing passively to the river. So like I probably overfold, and if I have a piece of something that I feel like I can raise, I raise.
Look at this, 8, 7, 6. Boom, we lead half of the time small. So my guess is that if he calls and we turn a 5, do we bet again? My guess is that the 5 is the key card. Oh, yeah.
And you're shutting down on aces, kings, queens.
So my little key card system is working out pretty good with these graphs. Like
I
I
think
can
you could
make.
probably barrel a jack. Let's see, 8, 9. You could probably barrel a jack, but I think you're gonna have to check queens, kings and aces, right?
I think it's
Jacks
only the
might start
five.
barreling some.
Oh, bam, it's only the 5. Well, there's a lot of other stuff we can do it with, but. The 5 is like the key card here.
It
So
bets
I can,
large someone in aces.
yeah, I can easily find key cards with this here.
So I think when we have the nut, it looks like when we have the nutted hand, like we can blast, when high card comes.
I'm sure the 7 is pretty good here. Yeah, it's okay. It's not that good. But my key card system is almost always working.
We have to shut down on a 9.
Oh, we got lots of talk in the chat. Could you run 7-7? Under the gun open. Versus big blind, 50 big blind. Yes, sir, Chester. We'll go at 40 or 60, one of the two. Under the gun versus big
I'll
blind.
pull up the webinar, let you know when it starts.
Well, yeah, I'm already registered for it.
I see, you'll let us know.
Ace 5 deuce.
Should be a good one this week.
Ace 5 deuce rainbow. So on the flop, big blind checks. We are range betting. Mostly using the bigger sizer. We need to size up. Whenever it's a pattern that I've seen, whenever we're under the gun. And we have like a ace-high board kind of, but I think it's gonna be more clear if we look at the overview. I don't have overviews for this one yet, but I think we can see it clearly here. Whenever like it's an ace-high board, there's an ace or a king on board, we bet a lot, we range bet a lot, and then we use bigger size. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. Matt Attack webinar is starting.
Alright, guys.
Alright, see you.
See you guys around. Thanks a lot.
See you guys.
See you Friday.
Bye.
Yes.